Okay then guys, this is your reverse transformation process for Magic Square's Swoop. Just a reminder, it's only the transformation process and the review has been separately uploaded. And also I've done this because this isn't in the instructions, and as with Magic Square we expect there's loads of panels, pulling and sliding down joints, etc, etc. So let's start off with the back. What we're going to do here, you can see that the legs are tabbed into this via a huge tab there on the inside of the, I suppose it's the back of the ankle. So let's separate them and let's just start to stretch out the legs like so. To be honest, you can just detach the wings now if you want a little bit, just to move them sort of up and out of the way. Right, we can see there's loads going on here already. So let's take this yellow bit at the front of the knee and then we're going to just shorten, there we go, the length of the dinosaur leg and collapse that, hold that back in place. So what we've done, if we look at them next to each other, see this one's got the gap and the movement, that one's been collapsed. And what you then need to do is just tuck the heel down like so. So I'll do one leg at a time. That's already popped open because the way I've moved it, but you're going to lift this up. You're now going to extend again. Via this panel, you're going to see a whole hinge is going to start to come out of the back of the leg here. That's just caught in there. Let's fold it all the way out. There you can see that black line, which is the hinge. You can then tuck the toe up and then clip this, tab it like so. It will tab into the back. That's it. It needs a bit of force, so you can see now that is completely different to this leg. There's no hinge out there, etc, etc. So let's finish this leg off. Let's collapse that there. Let's take the faux back, well, it is the back of the foot, but we're going to lift this up. That is the faux back of the foot. That's going to tuck into there. This is going to tab there, come around, and there you have one leg. Okay, so what we did is we take the dinosaur knee, we lift this up, we slot this down, we collapse that in and clip it into place. We then take this leg, we take the dinosaur heel like so. Let's turn it this way so you can see what I'm doing. We're then going to open up this part here, this panel. This is now going to slide out. It should do it. There you go. So you can see that's going in and out. Slide it out, catch the heel like so in the back of there, and then you've got that tab which is going to fit into the back of this. Snap that together, collapse this over the top, take out the heel tab, fold out the foot, tuck that away, bring this over, tab that in, line that up, and there are your legs like so. Right, let's turn our attention to the upper part then. So separate the arms there, pull the shoulders all the way out of the way like so, and then detach the chest via this part, lift this up, and then funnily enough, this is going to be good for me to show you. So you see we've got them two black screws there. They're on separate hinges. Now they're at the top. We want them to collapse down here like so. So let's open up the chest. This is tabbed together via that tab. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this up a little bit more just so you can see exactly what I'm doing as I'm doing it, because this is the tough bit. And as I say, so once I've stood him up, have I gone too high? Perhaps ever so slightly. Let's just come back down a little bit, because what I want you to focus on is these black screws, because this is the tough bit, to be honest. Right, let's first and foremost though tuck that part away, this front part of the chest, tuck that part away, and then fold out this at the top, which is going to be the neck cover like so. And while we've got everything open, I suppose this is the clever part to this figure. You're going to lift up the faux beak, you're going to rotate that 180 degrees, tuck away the real head, bring out the dinosaur head up on this hinge, rotate that around, and then you've got this ready to go. So obviously fold down the faux beak, tab that into the front, and this is what I need you to see. So you see at the moment that hinge is there, and if I fold it down, it just comes down there. We need that to be down there, but by moving it like so. So put a little bit of pressure so you can push down. See how that's folded down? And what we've basically done is we've widened the chest cavity, because it's nice and narrow there. And as I say, if I just fold that down, it's narrow. This has now widened the whole chest cavity, which is exactly what we needed to do. I'm going to see if I can tuck that in there and tab it in, which you can see, to keep it tucked up and tight. I'm now going to again turn my attention to this hinge, put the pressure on that rolling in that joint inside there, hold it at the bottom, bring it up and over, and then you can tab these. That will need to go behind the beak again, so we can just lift this up ever so slightly. That tab will hold the beak in, that'll hold all that in. And to be honest guys, that's the hardest bit. You can then rotate the shoulder in, that'll clip into place. Same here, that'll clip into place. We can bring this faux, well, not the faux, we can bring the neck and the head down, collapse that inside. You saw how that all pushed inside. Lift the head up, The top of this will fit through that gap there, and then there's a multitude of tabs in there and cutouts. So let's just get this all tidied up neatly. Let me just put that there, put that there. You can see how flush that goes now. Funny enough, let's collapse the wings on that hinge over on themselves and fold that back just to keep them out of the way. Collapse over, fold over, and that's that part done. Okay, let's turn our attention to the finishing touches. Let's just come a teeny bit lower again. Again, apologies for it being so detailed, but I think it needs to be because it is really fiddly. Move the arms forward, hold onto the forearm cover, and try and pop out these. It's much easier going the other way because you've got the leverage of the hand. So don't hold on too tight, otherwise you won't be able to bring it out. Once you've done that, make sure the arm is fully extended out. As I say, it might be like that when it's collapsed up inside itself. Extend it out, and then get your little finger, get your nail, get a spudger, get some tweezers, whatever you want to bring this in. Bring that over, make sure the shoulders stay tabbed in. Move the orientation, put the head where you want it to face, collapse them back down, and there he is back in his robot mode, which, to be honest, I think you're going to be keeping him in because he's way better in that mode. Anyway, I hope this helps you out, guys. But before he is finished, there's two little bits that I forgot. And of course, the first thing is to take the tail, to tuck it back under itself and fold it away like so. And the other is to bring out the heel sprue. So what you need to do is get your nail on this tab, push it down and fold both of these out. So there you go. I missed them at the end. Apologies for that, but I thought I'd stick it in anyway so you can see it. There we go. That is the complete reverse transformation for you.